Before we begin the video, if you haven't yet, come on down and join my Discord server. Link is down in the description. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel for our second episode review today. We'll be taking a look at Season 14, Episode 2, The Keepers of the Amulet. The ninja meet the jungle dragon named Zippy, and he's very different from past dragons. He pretty much likes to play, he's very playful, and so yeah, eventually the ninja part ways with him, and they meet the stone golems, and a fight breaks out. The stone golems can absorb, but also reflect elemental powers, kind of similar to the Dragon Ball Blade from Season 9, but also a bit different. And so yeah, they fight, the stone golems overpower the ninja, and so the ninja separate from Lloyd and Twitchy Tim, and so Twitchy Tim and Lloyd survive and escape. However, the other ninja escape from the golems but are captured by the keepers. Side note, but the animation in this shot is absolutely gorgeous. They are brought before Chief Mammotus, who explains that basically they are the keepers of the Storm Amulet, which was pried or taken off of Wohira or Wajira's head. And since the ninja have seen too much, they are forced to stay forever and be their prisoners forever. I just want to say this episode has pretty good, pretty funny humor in multiple areas. First up, there's the Cole food jokes. Those are always funny. There's a lot of that in the first half of this episode with him being hungry and eating poisonous berries. Yeah, that's classic Cole. It is funny, I feel. And then there's how Lloyd keeps forgetting that Clutch Powers exists. Clearly, he doesn't care much about Clutch Powers, which, you know, I can relate to. And then there's when Mammotus says that the ninja have seen the amulets. I think Cole or Jay says, one of them says that, well, you were the one who showed us that. So I felt like, you know, all in all, the humor of this episode was actually pretty good, not just in one area, but kind of throughout the episode. Let's talk about Zippy. As I mentioned, I do like how he is kind of different from other dragons. I think that's a quality that makes him stand out. And all in all, he's cool. I think he's pretty chill. And I like how the interactions with him, kind of more calm, I guess, relaxing scenes before the rest of this episode, which is definitely more tense and more action and fighting. Probably the best part of this episode would be the fight with the stone golems. These guys are just awesome. It's such a creative idea for a villain. I feel like they're very unique. They look really good, but also the way that they behave in battle, you know, using lightning powers, but also reflecting the ninja's own powers. I mean, we've seen stuff like that with elemental powers being negated or absorbed, or in this case, reflected, but I think it is kind of cool. And I thought the fight itself was wonderful, easily the best fight of this entire season. It just flowed very well, it felt very dynamic and really fun to watch. And then there's the bridge scene, more good humor from this episode. Love how Zayn and Jay acknowledge that bridges in this show always seem to kind of collapse. So I feel like that was kind of a nice, I guess, fourth wall break maybe? Is that the right term? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, the animation in this episode and overall the season is really good. It's clear to me that especially since the first season, Season 11, the animation seems to improve in every subsequent season. It got better in Season 12, then 13, and Season 14's animation really good. The environment and the keeper habitat looks fantastic. And then we meet Chief Mammotus. He's alright. He's kind of like an Omega type villain to me. I mean, better than Omega because, you know, he kind of has more of a personality. But overall, I feel like he's alright. You know, not bad, but not great either. But I do feel like his voice is pretty good. And what we see of him in this episode, kind of alluding to the backstory with Wohira, or I guess Wajira. I like saying Wohira much more. But yeah, anyways, I feel like that was some nice backstory. Kind of hinting at backstory we might learn more in the next season. So yeah, I mean, I think this episode does a good job of kind of providing us with a basic knowledge about the amulet and the keepers. Anyways, as for bad stuff, I like the stone golems. But correct me if I'm wrong, we don't really seem to ever learn their backstory in this season. I mean, their backstory is explained in the encyclopedia, but this is the last we see of them in this season. And while they are cool, it's never really explained what they are, or at least it isn't explained in the show. Anyways, as for Twitchy Tim, yeah, I guess he's okay. He still has some annoying behaviors, like his survival position and stuff like that. Again, I don't really care too much about his character. He doesn't suck necessarily, but at the same time, sometimes I feel like he's not really great, or sometimes I feel like some stuff he does really maybe shouldn't have happened. And then lastly, very small issue, just a few bad lines here and there. such as "You will be our prisoners forever." But yeah, anyways, final thoughts for this episode. The plot was pretty good. I thought this episode accomplished a lot. Introduced us to Zippy, the Stow Golubs, and also the Keepers. It did all three pretty effectively. Regarding characters, another episode where everyone's good, nobody sucks, but nobody's really great either. Twitchy Tib has the occasional annoying behavior, but all in all, he wasn't really that bad. And as for action, as I said, I love the fight with the Stow Golubs. Wild Braid fights are usually consistently pretty good, but this one, I gotta say, was definitely better than normal. I feel like it was really good. And then lastly, for emotion, well, I do feel like the humor was pretty good. I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10. Obviously, we haven't seen the full season yet, but I have a strong feeling at the end of it, this will emerge as personally my favorite episode. I feel like it really succeeds in every area. It has a good plot, it has great action, it also has pretty good humor, and I think it does a lot of stuff, but does a lot of stuff in a very good or effective way. But yeah, just like that, we are halfway through this incredibly short season, so assuming the other episodes don't suddenly release out of nowhere, we'll do the halftime special, a video which I normally make halfway through every season, sometime in the next week. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone and everyone you know. Share your thoughts on episode 2, The Keepers of the Amulet, below, and I'll see you guys next time.